tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's John Black. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey John, excited to be here and excited to have you back.
Oh, yeah, it was good. I listened to the last week's play it while I was on my plane. I was surprised that Kieran didn't just ruin the podcast, to be honest. But that was good. It was good. It was
No, it's fine. There was nothing to talk about last week, so it's all good. Good week to miss.
That's right.
Nothing invaluable to talk about.
Another thing I was quite happy, though, it worked out quite well, was that the big current PlayStation release was a game that Kieran had actually played. Because you was going to fuck everyone. You hadn't touched it. So, luckily, Kieran actually stepped up in this case where without me, there was someone on the podcast who had played the current PlayStation game, you know?
I mean, you talked about it the week before, so it was all fine.
Look, it was still the zeitgeist. No, it was. The
nobody's talking about Returnal anymore.
Discussion was. If you want to hear me talk about Returnal a bit more, go check out Radio Watson podcast. Myself, Buddy, Paul James for Play 2 Games. We did a spoiler cast for Returnal. There's a plug for that. I've done it on the Arcade Couch in this because it's now applicable, but go check that out as well. It was a good fun time if you want to hear me talk more about Returnal, because you didn't get to hear me talk about it. You had to listen to Kieran talk about it last week, and he didn't do as good a job as me. It's fine. Can't even beat the game. Fucking noob. Oh, I'm good at Overwatch. Oh, can't even beat Returnal. Fucking baby. Come on. What are you doing? Get the hell out of here. Get real gamer skills. You know what they call first-person shooters, Ash? Baby games, right? You know what they call like third-person action, tense, reaction time, base games like that? That's some real hardcore gamer shit.
They call that Game of the Award-winning games.
Yeah, that's award-winning.
Game of the year.
Yeah, get out of here. Overwatch, they're taking away players. Returnal takes away save files. You know, like, what's the more hardcore game? You can't argue with that. It's just...
Yeah.
What is more hardcore, you know? So it's what it is.
Listen, Returnal's not taking away anybody's jobs.
Exactly. No, it's not. Unless you count the hours you'll spend trying to earn the platinum, because it's fucking painful, but you know, it's not quite the same.
Did you mention that last time? I don't think
I actually cannot remember like what I talked about. Had I got the plat last episode? I don't know. Quick tidbit. In case the last time I talked about Returnal and I didn't have the plat, I now have the plat. It's a grind towards the end to get all the collectibles. If you need some help, ExplosionNetwork.com. I've got a trophy guide up. I've got tips and tricks on how to get through Act 3 up. Those should all help you do it. But otherwise, it's other than the difficulty of the game, if you can get past that hurdle, overall, not a hard platinum, just a bit of a grind. The game's hard. Trophies aren't hard. They just become a grind. But you do it. You do what you gotta do. I'm happy to have that one in the collection. You know what I'm saying? I think I was talking about this off air or whatever, with you and Buddy or whatever. Or maybe it was on air. I can't even remember. But it's like, you have some platinums, obviously. Every trophy counts. We know that if you're listening to the show. Every trophy counts. But also, you have some platinums where you're like, it fills the numbers. You gotta have some of these. You gotta have some that fill numbers. And then you get some like Returnal that you constantly polish up. You know what I'm saying? Like they're at the front of the cabinet. You're polishing these trophies, making sure they're always clean, always on show. They're the ones you want people to see. Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Rogue Legacy. These are my like prize possessions, you know. In the trophy cabinet this week for this show, bronze trophy for another look at Nate Sully in the Uncharted movie, a silver trophy for Biomutant being a fun but glitched, currently platinum, which I'll talk about shortly, and a gold trophy for another Souls-like entering the game. By the game, I mean the game of life, because it's a game. It's a video game entering the game. All right, so Biomutant. I'm going to give quick thoughts. I'll probably spend a little bit more time on it on the upcoming episode of Arcade Couch, so check out that as well. But quick thoughts. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Reviews up, ExplosionNetwork.com. It's exactly what I thought it would be based off my time at PAX. It's literally like, it's got so many ideas. It doesn't do any of them particularly great. It's got like crazy art style, crazy characters. It's fun at times. At other times, you're like, why is this in the game? Something will happen. You'll be like, well, that was kind of fun, but also maybe we should have cut that and like focused on just polishing up the rest of the game. It's a million different genres and things and ideas and, you know, I've seen people online describing it as like I described it as like a cross between Devil May Cry, Batman Arkham, and like Vanquish. And I've seen other people like bring up a heap of other games. It's like, yeah, fair enough. I can see how you combine all these things, but all in all, it's an okay 6 out of 10 as per my score. Third person action adventure open world game. I guess the one plus I will give it is it's an open world game that doesn't take you 100 hours to beat. In fact, I would say if you want to just mainline it, you could probably beat the main campaign in maybe under 10 hours, to be honest, if you just want to not actually play the game and just... But it would be the most boring way to play that game, but you could probably just, do that. So the plat, though, a platinum trophy which I should own. So I should own this, but it's taken me I think it's I'm nearly I'm around 30, shy of 30 hours, I think, for the plat, which isn't that long for an open world plat. Like compare that to Assassin's Creed or like basically any Ubisoft game. It's nowhere even close. But and it would be a fun platinum that I would highly suggest, trophy hunters go for. However, as of recording, this may change by the time this comes out in the morning, and I actually do hope that this does change by the time it comes out in the morning. As of recording, it's currently glitched, and I believe it to be glitched for everyone because I have the exact same trophy that I've now know that Kieran from Well Played has glitched, and I've seen a couple other... I searched on Twitter and I saw some other like content creators and stuff who had the game early also tweeting about having this trophy glitched. So I'm presuming this isn't all a coincidence and it is just one trophy that's currently glitched, which is for finding the 15 of these like collectibles in the game. The one saving grace is if they patch this, everything's fine. Hopefully if they patch it, I can still earn the trophy. If not, I think it'll take maybe an hour, maybe a little bit over, definitely not more than 2 hours to earn this trophy under a new game. So it's not like, oh no, it's an open world game, it's going to take me the whole fucking playthrough to beat it again. But there you go. I will have up, I'm going to finish it after we record this, so it will be up, glitch and all, but there will be a trophy guide on the website. There's another article also sort of accompanying that to help find some of the side characters which you need for trophies and also like to get their missions for a couple of the miscellaneous trophies related to side missions and stuff. So that'll be up too. So you can find all that, links below, explosionhour.com, all the way you want to find it. But difficulty for that one, I've gave a 3 out of 10. So it's not a hard platinum. There are 4 missable trophies though, we'll note that. They're all noted in the guide, of course. But if you want to hear them now, they all relate to the 4 main bosses of the game. Each one has a missable trophy. So my only tip I'd say before going into the game that could ruin the experience is every time you get up to a boss fight, make a save, look up the trophy or whatever you need to do, because there's like a certain thing, like hurt the boss in this certain way, like X amount of times. And then if you fail to do so and you beat the boss, just load that save. It's fine. You got this. It's this thing. You may be like, well, Dylan, how'd you figure that out? Trophy Hunter, of course. Make saves before every boss fights. Make multiple saves. You have them, okay? You miss things, you go back, it's fine. It's ingrained, True master. The Last of Us Part 2 just got a PS5 patch, bringing 60 frames per second. Goodness, Ratchet and press start. Following in the footsteps of God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us Part 2 is the latest game to get a PS5 performance patch, bringing a new display mode that targets 60 frames per second visuals. Announced in a blog post, Naughty Dog said that the patch 1.08 will bring a, quote, toggle in the display options that allows you to choose between frame rate target of 30 or 60 frames per second. This allows you to choose your preferred frame rate to complement the rest of the enhancements that are part of the PS5, and, quote, Naughty Dog went on to say that the team has been digging into the PS5 hardware and its possibilities and unlocked since launch last year, and they're excited about what the future holds. They said that the patch is just the first step of working on the PS5, and they'll let us know when they have more to share. So this is cool and all, but straight away when I saw this news last week, it was automatically like, okay, well that kind of, in my mind, you'll probably disagree because that's your job, but in my mind, this confirms that they're not doing a Last of Us Part 2 remaster for PS5. Because I feel like if they were, they would save this for that. No?
Yes. No, yeah, this completely makes sense. I mean, there's like a business point of view where you could have a PS5 version, but comes out with factions whenever that comes out. And like it's a tie-in kind of thing. Like you have a native PS5 version of Last of Us. All the like trophy stuff is like you can, better integration, that kind of stuff, so you can check off all the collectibles and that kind of stuff.
Activity cards.
Activity cards and everything, that kind of stuff. But yeah, then I don't know how much more beautiful they can make it look.
Yeah, I don't either. It already looks better than some PS5 games, so.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I mean, that's something that they could include down the line with something else, but I don't think it is a priority at all. Yeah.
No.
It's cool they're still working on it and want to make it the best game possible. Still, 12 months after the game's released?
I also think, like some of these other games like God of War and Ratchet and stuff like that, and what Insomniac's been doing with Spider-Man, and Sucker Punch did with Ghost of Tsushima, Insomniac did with Spider-Man. All of them, I'm trying to list all the ones that got frame rate patches and stuff. All of these to me all just seem like they're nice and they're helpful for players, but it's also just, I feel, the teams in the back end just having a way to mess around with PS5.
Just testing stuff.
Yeah, it feels like, let's see if we can get God of War to run at 60. All right, cool. Well, might as well put it out now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah, so I feel like since they've patched this for free, 60 frames per second, I just don't see how you could sell a remastered Last of Us Part 2 for PS5 at 60 frames, and even if it has a slight increase in visual quality, like if they were like, and it now does 4K at, I'm forgetting the actual word, but it's like...
Doesn't matter. Nobody notices.
Well, that's what you would say. But even if they added that, I just don't think that's a good enough package to warrant an upgrade. I don't know. Especially because there's no DLC. You know what I mean? Maybe if they say what you did, which is, hey, factions cost $50 and it comes with Last of Us Part 2 for PS5.
Remastered, much in the way Miles and Spider-Man Remastered were packaged together.
Yes. That would make more sense. Where the focus is factions. That's what they're selling you, but it comes with this. And maybe they use the fact it includes a slightly better looking Last of Us Part 2 as a way to also help build the player base for factions.
Yes.
To make sure people buy it. Because maybe they're like, well, if we had put it out factions by itself, the people who played factions on Last of Us Part 1 will probably pick it up. But we also want a way to get other people to check it out. And that would be a way.
That's assuming they're charging for factions, which is...
Yeah, we don't know. But
I assume they are based, but yeah.
I'm assuming they will charge for factions. I don't think it will be free to play.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Just it doesn't suit Naughty Dog or Sony's.
Yeah.
It's like their flagship title. And I know it's a multiplayer thing that people don't view as like proper Last of Us, but it's still Last of Us. And that's like their flagship.
That's
franchise.
still their biggest. Yeah.
So I just don't see that being free to play. But I mean, we'll find out one day. One day in the future when they finally officially announce it, would not just be like, it's a thing that exists that we just talk about and some people tweet about in secrecy and we all act like it's not a thing, but we know it's a thing. PC Gamer writes a Dark Souls style Final Fantasy game might be announced soon. So quickly, before I read the rest of the story, saw a bunch of these stories posted this morning, went, no fucking way, bunch of bullshit. Have since seen a bunch of credible people, including like Jeff Grubb, I think Schreier maybe hinted at it, I actually can't remember. Imran Khan, bunch of like credible people were like, this is legit. Like, this is something, like, this is a thing. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll take it a bit more serious. But the first time, when I read it this morning, I was like, there's no way. But there we go. So they write, PC Gamer writes, according to someone on Twitter, the new Final Fantasy.
Great source.
Well, I can't remember where it started, but so it's a French leaker, so I can't even attempt to write what they're saying here. But it says the new Final Fantasy from Square Enix is nothing of that than a Souls-like. So, and this is in response to there was a story last week saying that they're going to announce Square Enix is going to announce a new Final Fantasy spin-off game. So that was the story last week, and now the story has
Mm.
grown this week to be it is a Souls-like type game. So the PC Gamer continues by writing, of course, I wouldn't share any claims from mysterious French speakers who go by Souls Hunt. This rumor has some backing. Fanbyte says it has sources who confirm the rumor's truth, and the game may be called Final Fantasy Origin. According to Fanbyte, Origin, quote, appears to be a PlayStation exclusive that will get a PC release sometime after the PS5 release. Both Fanbyte and a Twitter leaker say that it's in development by Team Ninja, and that it'll be similar to Nioh, in other words, a bit Souls-like. Specifically, Fanbyte says it's being made by the Team Ninja group that developed the Cydia Final Fantasy NT, a group which some Nioh devs were shuffled into. Fanbyte also says that the game will be more accessible than other games in the genre, and Souls Hunt says that unlike Dark Souls games, it will have difficulty settings. Final Fantasy Origins is reportedly part of Square Enix's E3 showing, so we should have details direct from the source in June, which, by the way, right around the corner. I don't have any sources of their own, they say, but it wouldn't be far-fetched that Team Ninja would be working on another Final Fantasy game. So, I think in premise, where they're like, Dark Souls like Final Fantasy game, I go, nah, that seems silly because Final Fantasy player base they're not, like, it's an RPG. I know recently they have been a bit more action, like they've moved to that real-time action stuff, kind of, which they tried out. I always think like that started with Kingdom Hearts, and then they sort of transitioned the Final Fantasy franchise into that similar sort of gameplay style and away from the turn-based JRPG action of yore. Just look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. It is they sort of melded action, third-person action, hack and slash combat with the actual core mechanics of the first game, and that's what the franchise is going to be going forward. So to be like, could they make a third-person action game? It's like, well, they do. Like, that's what they're making now, just with heavy RPG stuff. But still, the type of people that play those Final Fantasy games, are they and would they be willing to play a Souls-like, the difficulty and wanting to put up with all that sort of stuff? And automatically I was like, nah, that doesn't really seem like it fits the mold. But then as they say here, would include difficulty options, and you may be like, well, that's a shocking revelation. Has that been done before? And the answer is, yeah, they did it with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So if you think Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order but Final Fantasy, that probably makes a bit more sense than going, think Dark Souls but Final Fantasy. I would say think Jedi Fallen Order but Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, with difficulty options where it has the Souls-like elements, but it doesn't feel as hardcore or threatening to play as a proper Souls-like. Yeah. So would this interest you at all? Any way possible?
I mean, as a concept, it sounds interesting. Like, obviously, Final Fantasy is stretching out, or like spinning off in a different way than they've done previously. Obviously, that Souls-esque market is big, and I'm sure if they put a Final Fantasy skin on it, people would eat it up, to be perfectly honest. They don't. I think there are fans who will play any Final Fantasy game, no matter what, and then you also draw in that audience.
They'll try every Souls
kind of games. They'll try every Souls-like. So, I mean, there's enough of that. There's a big enough player base there to justify it. Yeah, it sounds interesting. It'd be interesting to see how they incorporate, because the word is it's set in the world of Final Fantasy, the original game. So how they integrate, are you just going to be a guy with the sword and the shield? Or are you going to be using magic as well?
One of the 7 heroes of light.
Yeah.
So this is back when there was crystals and all sorts of stuff.
Is this just a remake of the first game? But
that'd be amazing if it was. I'd love that.
Yeah. So can I play the entire game as a black mage?
Maybe. I mean, it fit. I mean, all the Souls-like games, Demon Souls and Dark Souls and Bloodborne and stuff, they have different character classes and that sort of stuff anyway, so...
Yeah, I get halfway through a fight, run out of mana, I'm dead.
I mean, you can do that in Souls games, so yeah. That's the way you want to play, so... but yeah, we'll find out soon, I guess. I would be keen. I'm keen to learn a bit more, but yeah, I do think if they made a Final Fantasy game that... Because the thing is, Soulsborne's a lot of world building and stuff if you want to dig into it, but on a core base level, none of those games have, like, you can't just play them and go, story beats, character moments, like they're sort of non-existent. It's just all about the lore and whatever. Whereas Final Fantasy, if you think about Final Fantasy, people like, what's the top 3 things? It's like story, characters, music. Like gameplay is probably one of the lower elements when I think about Final Fantasy games. So I feel like if they're going to make a game like this, it has to be, you still have to hit those elements. You still have to make story forefront for it to be a Final Fantasy game to me. But that doesn't mean you can't make a really good gameplay system. But again, I'm just saying, like, even though I didn't love Jedi Fallen Order, that would be my blueprint as to, like, well,
yes,
look, there's
something like that. Yeah.
There's a story-based game with lots of story and lots of characters, but still built the gameplay around that Souls-like third-person combat, but with difficulty options where you can put it on normal, hard, easy, whatever there was. So yeah. Next story comes from the 6th.
Can I just say it's crazy that E3 is less than a month away, and we're barely talking about it.
It's even less than a month away. It's about a week and a half away at this stage, I think. Maybe 2 weeks? Let me open a little
2 weeks, I think, yeah.
It's
like
on
12th of June.
11th, I think. Yeah, well, Friday the 11th, I think, and then over the weekend. So, we're recording this, so it's 2 weeks away. Like, we got the rest of this week, we got next week, and that's the week, the following week, the weekend. So, I guess a little bit over 2 weeks. Coming up hot.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited.
No, they're not. That's the problem. This is the least hyped E3 ever.
Yeah, no one was ever going to come into E3 2021 hyped. It just wasn't going to combine what happened with the ESA, combined with COVID.
Oh yeah,
do you remember that? Yeah.
Remember when they leaked everybody's personal information?
Yeah, remember that? Yeah.
Good times.
Good job. So we'll look forward to it. I look forward to Jeff Keighley's thing. I don't know. I'm keen, but and I may have to think more about it. Maybe for this upcoming week, like a couch or next or something, if we want to do something. But yeah, they have done. I've read fuck all about it until like the last maybe 2 weeks, which is fine because that's only now has stuff sort of started to leak. Like maybe the last month. Do you remember like a month ago when we started hearing rumors about like Battlefield 6 leaks? To me, that was the start of E3 leaks because that Battlefield stuff, some more of it leaked this morning or yesterday. I haven't watched it because I'm like, I'm just going to wait. But that has to be something they were trying to say for the E3 showcase. And that shit started leaking a month ago. Fuck. Like, it is crazy. Apparently, there's another massive leak going around. I don't know what it's for because I don't want to look it up. But I did see some people tweeting that there was like an entire showcase leaked by a major company or something. I don't know what that is, but I don't really want to know at this stage. I'm fine unless I haven't seen any of the major outlets reporting on it because I just don't think that they want to sort of touch on that sort of leak stuff. But I don't.
Yeah.
Six Axis writes, PlayStation Studios curator page is now live on Steam, hinting that more PS4 PC ports are coming. So they say the Steam Creator page is now live. Sony's page currently is showing a total of 41 items, though some are hidden, which hints that more content is on the way. On the top sellers tab, for example, are 4 games that show Days Gone, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, Predator Hunting Grounds, and Helldivers. The 20 pieces of DLC are listed, with these being split between Predator Hunting Grounds and Helldivers. In the upcoming tab for the PlayStation Studios page, things are a bit more mysterious. With 41 pieces of content, 21 of those are accounted for by DLC, for Predator Hunting Grounds and Helldivers, with the games already released, meaning there are 15 items hidden away. Days Gone is the only upcoming title, but the free DLC and updates for that would be bundled into the PC version of the game. So the 15 further items could be a mixture of games, demos, soundtracks, and other content. In theory, that could include God of War, the Uncharted series, and even Last of Us, if Sony wanted to give PC gamers a taste of what they could expect if they picked up a PS5 on a variable. So, yeah, I don't think this is none of this is surprising. Like, the idea of more PC ports of PlayStation games coming, that's not really the shocking thing. I just, seeing them have I just wanted to point out how weird, like one of those things you just never thought you'd see, like a Steam curator page for PlayStation Studios. Like, it's weird to look at, like your brain just goes, come again? Like, what? It's just, yeah. Like, I have no problem. Like, I'm not like, oh, this is outrage. It's just, it's quite weird to look at and see like on the thing. Can't wait for Nintendo to have a page next and whoever else. And Steam has everything. I know. And that game knew like a week ago. It was like, oh, we'll have Steam stuff coming to console soon. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know, it's just like lots of weird stuff happening between console or Steam and
consoles. Yeah.
Consoles.
What do you think will be the next game they announce for PC?
I would assume it may be. Why
isn't it Bloodborne?
If they gave Bloodborne to PC and it was 60 frames per second, I reckon people would flip their fucking lid. Actually, and that would be one where I too would be annoyed. You know, like unless it comes at the same time and they're like it's also getting patched and it'll run at 60 on PS5, then I'm like okay, fine. But if they released it
PC, it's just 30.
Then okay, that's that. I'd be fine, but PC players would be like. Runs at 30? Don't know.
Yeah.
That would be a shit port, is what that would be. Like, right, that would be a review where you're like, this is a kind of poor port. Why doesn't it run at 60? Why doesn't it run above 60?
Because it wasn't built to run at 60.
I know, but it's a shit port then. Like, what's the point of, like, that you've done it as a bad port?
Because PC players want to play it.
No, that's just bad. That'd be a bad port. I would say the next one, honestly, I wouldn't put it past being The Last of Us, to be honest.
The first one?
I think it's time to build it up. I know we're talking about that being Sony's big game, but I'm saying the first one. It's like 10 years old. They're not going to put number 2 on there. And if they do, it won't be for like. So. They won't be like. No, if number 2 ever comes to PC, it won't be for like 5 years or more. I just don't think. Number 1, sure. Which would be good though, because, not that it looks terrible, but if they did a decent PC port. It could look slightly better running on PC, if they had it running a bigger frame rates and stuff. So, I don't know. I assume it would include the multiplayer though. So, what do you think's the next one?
Yeah, that just makes sense. Just have a look at that list that I was looking up. Yeah, it could just be something random like Until Dawn or one of their VR games. Because the Predator Hunting Grounds, that's not the PlayStation Studios game you think of.
No. But also that one I don't really think much about because that was announced from day one as a PlayStation console exclusive and also coming to PC. Like it wasn't it's coming over. Big PlayStation
Give
game.
the PC players what they want. Knack and Knack 2.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine Sony teased
as a precursor to Knack 3
We have another announcement coming for you noon tomorrow, BST, whatever time.
Tune in. State of play.
Tune in. State of play.
PC state of play.
It starts up. You hear some jingles. You hear some noises. Ratchet? Jack and Daxter? They're real close to the camera. Just knack. Just a big old knack face in your face. Like, because he knows he's trolling you. He has that look in his eyes. And then from behind, you just see Mark Cerny, like, arms crossed, like, wink.
Yeah.
The power of PlayStation.
And then walk off camera.
And that's it. That's all it says. Like, there's no more gameplay or anything. It just says knack. Knack's there. Mark Cerny winks. Walks off. We love PC gamers, says the text. Push Square writes, random PS5 purchases in China received this platinum trophy pin badge. So, for those who might not be aware, the PlayStation 5 recently launched in mainland China on 15th of May 2021. Sony's flagship console officially arrived in the country. It's been documented by industry analyst Daniel Ahmed. There isn't much too extraordinary about the machine's Chinese launch, aside from strict regulations making for a much slimmer lineup of software on day one compared to other regions. Still, demand has been high, pre-orders selling out at major retailers. One little extra at Sony's own stores, however, marks this occasion pretty nicely. Twitter user 9senpai, no, just me, noted that fans who brought a PS5 from Sony shops also received a special launch gift, which includes a pair of official pin badges, one of the PlayStation logo and another depicting the Platinum Trophy. So, in my opinion, this is fucked. why didn't we get this? Why don't I own one of these? Is what I'm gonna say. You know, like whose dick do I have to to get one of these fucking platinum trophies? Are you looking at this? Have you seen how cool they actually look?
Yeah, I'm
like
looking at it.
It's not a dodgy looking pin. You know, this isn't some cheap looking pin, Ash. This is a good looking.
It's because they've had to wait for it to be launched over there, I guess.
Yeah, but like, not everyone receiving this is a true trophy hunter. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Well, hit up PlayStation Australia. Start putting these pins up for sale or something.
All I'm gonna say is if
better be available at PAX or something.
If I'm not getting one of those big ones, which I think I just deserve, like I just deserve one. You know what I'm saying? You could be like, but why, Dylan? And the answer is, I just deserve one. If I'm not getting one of those, I need one of these. And I'm not taking no for an answer. That's how I feel about that. So at PlayStation Australia, what's that at?
And PlayStation AU NZ, I think. Or
AU.
No, just AU.
So if you could tweet at PlayStation AU, ask them why at Viva Deal can't have one of these PlayStation pins or the trophies, because he deserves one. Because he runs the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias and has over 200 platinums. Like, what does your boy have to do? You know?
I don't know.
You want me to get 250? I'll do it.
Remember last year there was the chip picker that was only available in Asia. Can't find any of those anywhere either. Give us one of those as well.
Oh, the don't get Doritos dust on your hands. Yeah. Oh, you dirty motherfuckers out there in Doritos with your fucking white PS5 dual sensors. Y'all need some of them.
It's fine. We're going to all get colored dual sensors, so you won't be able to notice.
That's a good point. And you know why they charge extra for that red
That's
one?
That's why they put red.
Yeah, they added extra tax just because anyone buying that red one, because it's ugly, by the way, I don't like it. Anyone buying that red one, use on here last week, like, oh, it's full. Anyone buying that red one is probably buying it because they are a dirty Dorito eating motherfucker and they want to cover their fingerprints. And that's why they've added that extra $10 to $15. Not because they need to, but because they're just like sort of sucker punching an extra few dollars out of you for being pieces of shit. Like, fucking bam, that's what you That's what I reckon about that. Nate, no! It's been a while.
No!
But we have a brand new look at the Uncharted film. And by a brand new look, I mean one still. And there's not much to garner from it, but this segment exists for a reason. And we've spent more time talking about tiny stills of this movie than we have any tiny stills of any movie in history on ExplosionNetwork.com, I'm pretty sure. But today's picture was released by New York Times.
Listen, we all know that everybody listens to podcasts to hear what people think of photos.
Tiny little pictures, yeah, that's what I thought. So this is released by New York Times. I'm surprised there still isn't a trailer for this movie at this stage, to be fucking honest. The picture depicts, it's up on the video version, but if you listen to the audio version, of course you can see. But the picture depicts, you got Tom Holland, Nathan Drake. He's wearing an outfit that doesn't make me think of Drake at all. He's shining a flashlight at a wall. They're looking at some things. They look like they're in some sort of like tomb, I guess, or like maybe
like
even a church thing. Like they're exploring. Mark Wahlberg's behind him. Sully doesn't look anything like Sully. He's wearing a similar uniform that doesn't remind me of anything in particular. You could tell me this was any fucking movie, and I would be like, I would probably believe you, because there's nothing in this still that makes me think it's an Uncharted movie. And look, I'm not trying to shit on this too much, even though it sounds like I am, because I am a little bit. But also, as I've said, I don't need these movies to be exact replicas. I don't need people to look exactly like they do in the characters. But I feel like in some way, if you're adapting something, it needs to at least have a resemblance of some sort. And based off this picture here, I'm really like, you could like if you showed this to someone and was like, "Who's the main character? Who's Nathan Drake?" You know, I know they said Mark Wahlberg's too old, but you could still be like, "Well, he's Nathan Drake." You know what I mean? Like I know this is a prequel where Tom Holland's playing younger Drake, but I'm also like, but Mark Wahlberg doesn't even look that old. Like I what do you think?
I mean, I'll be honest. Looking at Mark Wahlberg, he could play Drake right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing.
He could play Uncharted 4 Drake.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, he's too old to play now. But is he? Look at him. He looks perfectly fine to play Drake in this. You could have told me that he was playing Drake still, and Tom Holland's playing his little fucking sidekick.
Maybe it's a Samuel Jackson situation. You know, from Captain Marvel, where he can't run. You know, can't move the way that
they've de-aged. Do you reckon they've de-aged Mark
No,
Wahlberg?
I'm just saying he just can't. He can't move like he used to.
You know, Mark Wahlberg wakes up at like 3 a.m. every day, goes to the gym for like 8 hours. You know, real normal shit.
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, he can press, but he can't jump around like Drake does.
Yeah, fair.
Not like Spider-Man can.
Yeah. Look, if it's like a typical Hollywood movie where they cut every 2 seconds in an action scene, do you really need? You could have an 80-year-old do an action scene. You can just cut around it. You can edit around it. It doesn't really matter now.
No.
You know what I mean? It's all fucking green screen shit anyway. Not impressed by his photo.
No, it's.
I gotta be honest. I'm more disappointed by Mark Wahlberg not looking old enough and looking something resembling Sully than I am Tom Holland, because I'm going into this movie being like, Tom Holland's younger Nathan Drake. Okay, fair enough. But because Mark Wahlberg looks like he could just be playing Drake, I think that's what's annoying me so much. I think that's what it is. It's not Tom Holland, it's Mark Wahlberg.
Listen, it's going to be a cool twist when it turns out Mark Wahlberg is playing Drake. It's like some sort of Into the Spider-Verse type situation where they're both playing Drake.
I don't know if that's a franchise for it, but we shall see if you're right whenever they decide to finally release a trailer for this fucking movie, because they clearly could have.
But that's not going to be a while, because it's not coming out till next year. So
just drop a fucking teaser, man. Just drop a teaser. Like, fuck.
I mean, E3 is next week.
I don't think that's. I mean, maybe
everybody's talking about video games.
I just don't know. I mean, Netflix is doing a thing the day before
Summer Games Fest. Jeff Keighley's got the hookup.
Maybe, yeah, he could, but it wouldn't be at E3. I don't think. Like he may, but I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's it.
But cool. It's good. It's good that flashlights have been confirmed from Uncharted movie.
Yeah, good. Glad. I'm glad they're keeping
and candles.
It's canon, you know, flashlights. All right, and every
is that a? Oh no, there's. I was going to say, is there a special reason behind the color of the candles with the back? But there's a blue and a green one.
You're going down the rabbit hole. I think you need to stop.
Yeah.
All right, in every trophy counts, one trophy list has popped up. Quickly want to go over. I don't think there's any particular spoilers here. I don't really spot any, but we'll go over it quickly anyway. So
the spoilers. One of the spoilers is defeat Dr. Nefarious.
Yeah, okay. In case you didn't want to know that you defeat Dr. Nefarious in a game where Dr. Nefarious is the bad guy, spoilers. But so trophy list for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has dropped. Of course, the game is. Well, I mean, it's E3 length away. It comes out the day before.
It's 2 weeks. Yeah,
it's 2 weeks. So E3 and Ratchet and Clank are right around the corner. It's a couple weeks away. Trophy list has popped nice and early. And scanning through the trophy list, it looks easier than the trophy list for Ratchet and Clank, the remake from 2017 or whatever year that was. Was it 2016?
Well, there's no time.
There's no speed run. So that is a key thing. There's no time related playthrough. There's no difficulty related trophies. I know that game didn't either, but just worth noting, there is no difficulty related trophies here.
Yep.
And also, most importantly, there is no trophy that I can see, unless it's worded differently, that requires you to fully upgrade all the weapons, which was another time sink for the other Ratchet and Clank Platinum. There is a trophy for
just purchase all the weapons.
Yeah, there's purchasing, but that was never the problem. It's always been using them
up
enough to fully upgrade them and fully level them up. That was the real time sink and bit of a grind. I think that was the last trophy I got in the Ratchet Clank remake platinum, was that one, because a few of the weapons, like the rocket launcher and some of the other weirder weapons where you're firing a couple shots, obviously it takes just a lot longer to unlock everything. So yeah, I think this looks, I'm looking forward to this, I'm looking forward to the game in general, but I'm also now seeing that it's quite an easy platinum. I'm like, yeah, cool, because as I've been joking around, well, potentially, as I've been joking around, PlayStation exclusive so far, Demon Souls Remake, Returnal, I got the platinum for both those. I would be quite happy for the next exclusive PlayStation 5 game to be a bit more of a mellow, like 6G shading, not so difficult platinum. That's something I can go for. There was a trophy here for collecting.
Yeah, Miles, that was a reasonably...
Yeah, but as a PS5 exclusive. That was on PS4. I mean, like, actual PS5 exclusive. Only on PS5.
Okay.
Only. There's a trophy here also for getting 5 gold bolts, but there is no trophy for getting all the gold bolts. So, again, like something else that maybe in previous games would have been a pain in the ass to find all the gold bolts, but it says 5 only. There's usually 1 per level or planet or whatever, this sort of thing. I would say that finding 5 is...
There are only 5 dimensions?
Maybe. I mean, I feel like if there's only 5, the trophy would say collect all gold bolts, though. But for it to say specifically 5 makes you think there's obviously more than 5. So, yeah. Does anything stand out when you scanned it that go, oh, that could be a pain or whatever? Or?
Well, there is... Quick look at the gold ones, obviously. Purchase all weapons, and then it seems to be a bunch of collectible ones, like find all the Craggy Bears, and
of which there's 9
goals,
apparently, right? Because PSN profile says there's 0 out of 9 synced there as well. So again, we don't know what they are. That could be just on one planet, could be across the whole game. But again, it's just a collectible. It's not something that's particularly... And
there's another kit every Blizon crystal as well. One of 29. Yeah.
Kit every, on Blizzard and Cordelion. So 2 planets you got to find these things. Yeah. Again, just another sort of collectible thing there. You know, not difficulty. The only one I was thinking that may be difficult, I don't think it will, but the only thing that may be difficult is there is a silver trophy for complete a Gold Cup Battleplex challenge, which I'm presuming isn't that hard, but it's the only thing in this trophy list that stood out as like, you got to complete a challenge. Like there is a trophy for completing a challenge, but this one's specifically for completing a Gold Cup. So I don't know if these are hard or not, but at least it's only one. It doesn't say like beat all of them or something like that. All in all, that's the theme of this trophy list, really. It is a lot of things saying you don't have to do all of them. You know, apart from these like couple collectible things, but there's no trophy that says get all the collectibles in the game. There's no trophy that says get all the gold bolts, all the crackleberries, all the, like there's no, for the most part, it's just like, do this once. Do one gold challenge. Not all of them, just one, So, there you go. And by the way, because people are already playing the game, not us, obviously. Or maybe I am, and I can't take... No, I'm not ripped. But there's people already who... Already, there's someone on here who... Hatan6, whoever this person is. They're already at 89% of the trophy's end. And they started it today. So, no, they started it on the 22nd. Sorry, they started it a couple of days ago. So, smashing through it. I can see Hakum's here, number 1 trophy hunter in the world. He's got the game. So I'm sure he'll smash through it in a couple of days. And so, yeah, if someone's already at 89%, actually, let's see if we can have a little bit of a spy here. We'll do a live sort of spy. Let's see what they haven't got if they're at 89. So they don't have find the nefarious citizens by the hot springs. It's a bronze. They don't have all the Cragger Bears. They have 2 out of 9. So that must be several planets maybe then. Or maybe it's still on one planet and they're trying to look for it. So that's their true trophies though. That's all they got left. 2 random things. Unless that's simply they were going planet by planet and this is the planet they're up to now. Like the Cragger Berries could be on the Hot Springs planet. They're doing both at the same time. Don't know. Either way.
Cool.
Looking forward to it. A couple weeks away. Playing it very soon. We'll have E3 soon. We'll have Ratchet Clank soon. Good times all around. Thank you for listening to Platinum Explosion. Let us know any comments, questions, or concerns you have about this week's episode by tweeting at us or joining our Discord channel. You can find the Twitter, explosionhour.com/Twitter. Find Explosion Network's Ashes Minds. You can find our Discord. Come talk to us there, explosionhour.com/Discord. And if you like this episode and you'd like to let us know, you can head on over to explosionhour.com/support us. Has an embedded way to donate $1 or more to our Ko-fi page there. Has a link to our store where you can buy a shirt. It has a reminder to review our podcast on Apple places if you can, because that's super helpful, of course. If you'd like to do all that, that would be fantastic. And until next week, remember that every trophy counts. Even if they're glitched, and you're fucking annoyed, but you try not to be too annoyed because you're like, it's a first world problem, but you're hoping they patch it. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.